Now on the phone is David Larkin, international sports lawyer and co-director Change FIFA. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So, David, does it sound like normal to you that the 2018 and 2022 in Qatar won't change? The decisions won't change after we're discovering this big scandal in FIFA?
It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, if prior to this date, if you looked at the allegations against the existing, just the voting members of FIFA, who have allegations of impropriety leveled against them and or who are otherwise resigned under sort of clouds of suspicion, then I think what you're looking at is a vote for the 2018 World Cup and 2022 World Cup that was, with respect, invalid. And that was before today. Now, with the additional allegations today, what it proves is that this is a culture that tolerates corruption, has a massive problem with corruption, and so therefore the World Cup votes, as they currently stand, are wholly invalid.
You know, this is not something, like you said, that is strange, because we're talking about when there is a lot of money in a place that there's a lot of money, probably there will be also some corruption. But how it will affect, let's say, the small leagues, like how it will affect football teams that, you know, are maybe right now playing, because this will affect, like I said here to Jonathan, when the head stinks, what it will say about the rest of the body.
You know, there's a really good spillover. I call that the spillover effect, and there's some very good examples of that. For example, the player Diego Mendieta, who played in Indonesia, was the poor administration of this game in Indonesia meant that he went unpaid for months, and when he contracted a treatable disease, he died because he was unable to pay for his medical bills. So the misadministration of this game has real consequences, and at the extreme, it's resulted in the death of players. These evils do have victims, and I think that's what's important to say, is that this corruption, yes, at some levels it's laughable, but in the real world, for real people, these can have some really dire effects, from election fraud to people being victimized and defrauded of money, and all the way at the extreme to the death of players because these leagues are mismanaged.
David, let's try to play a game. If you were the spokesman right now of Sepp Blatter, what would you advise him to do?
I'd advise him to resign.
It's a good advice from you. David Larkin, thank you very much for this.